AITA for not trying harder to let my ex know our son passed. Sorry for any layout issues. I am on my phone. Also, throwaway as my ex follows my main. Both myself, F, and my partner, M, were 28 when I found out I was pregnant. Together 4 years. Personally, I didn't want the child. My work was offering potential advances within my position and I was excited for it. But after a lot of talking, we decided to go forward with it. When I was around 20 weeks, just after finding out the gender, he disappeared. I couldn't contact him. He wouldn't answer the phone or messages. I got worried and messaged his mother and found out he was living back with her and was overwhelmed with the situation. He kept paying his part of the bills over to my bank each month, but I received no contact. I even tried going over. Nothing. By about 27 weeks I gave up trying. Gave up crying and just got on with what I thought was a future as a single mother. I brought everything needed over the next couple of weeks and set it all up. At 31 weeks I started having pains, but put it down to Braxton Hicks. Just before 32 weeks my waters went and I went into labor. With the baby coming very quickly, he went straight to NICU. I messaged and rang my ex and his mother. No response. Less than a week later, my son passed due to complications of early birth. I again tried to contact my ex and his mother. Left voicemails and messages. Nothing. The next few weeks were a blur, but with the help of my mother and father his funeral was arranged. They tried to contact ex and his mother also. Still nothing. I sent more messages. Nothing. I'm assuming we were probably all blocked, but honestly at that point I didn't care. I was so broken. His funeral came and went. It was beautiful and horrible. I stopped messaging and told my family not to bother after the funeral had passed. I couldn't deal with it anymore. About 5 months after his death my ex turned up. Let himself in. I wasn't at home, but when I got back he was instantly hostile. The flat was clearly not set up for nor accommodating a small child. He demanded to see his son. I broke down and told him what happened. I have never seen him so sad and angry. He stormed out, slamming the door on his way out. Within half an hour I got a nasty call from his mother, followed by messages from siblings, other family. How dare I not let them know something so serious? How could I hide something like that out of petty spite? I truly didn't. I tried, but I couldn't keep trying. It's been nearly 3 weeks now of them being awful. I was speaking to my sister this weekend and she said, TBF. It was a bit of a dick move to not keep trying. They deserved to know. Was it? I tried so hard to let him know. But I was struggling so hard too. I lost my son too. AITA? Should I have done more? Edit. Thank you all so much for your responses. Sorry for not replying to any. Reading them has been a lot. Honestly, I'm going to drink a bottle of wine or two, read your kind responses and cry myself to sleep. Writing this all out and living it again has been hard. Unfortunately, I'm not able to change the locks. Landlord said no, but my tenancy ends on the 12th of June and I already have a new flat to move into. And thankfully my dad has been able to cover the cost of a private therapist and I see her again Tuesday. Thank you all so much again for your kind words. Second edit. If I had realized this was going to blow up so much then I probably would have just posted to my main. If you see this post anyway, read it, Lewis. Then read it again. Then read the comments. Then just leave me alone. Thank you all for your comments. I'm going to show my therapist the post when I see her and talk it through. But honestly it has helped a lot. Even if I did cry quite a bit. I'm going to sleep now and won't be back on this post, but thank you all. Heartsuit. Honestly FCK him and his family. You tried contacting them before and after it happened and nothing. Then he just shows up like he didn't abandon you at such a fragile time. Honestly, if that was me and I tried contacting the dad, family and heard nothing, I wouldn't bother. Either because planning a baby's funeral would be my top priority, not chasing someone who left. NTA. AITA. You made every effort possible to contact these people and they blocked you. Their ignorance is 100% their own fault. Get the locks changed on your place. NTA. You tried pretty damn hard for someone who was in the midst of grieving an enormous loss and managing the cruel logistics associated with it. Your ex is an and I'm very glad for your sake that he's your ex. I'm sorry for your loss. Edit to add. Also, if your sister has such strong feelings about it, she should have been the one to keep calling. NTA at all. Exclamation mark. F all of them. Change your locks. Tell your sister to get bent. NTA. As someone who was also abandoned during a pregnancy that ended without a living child, your ex can stick his special bits in a meat grinder. Anyone who accuses you of having done something wrong is an asshole. Especially if they are family. I am mad for you because it was 1,000,000% not your sister's place to pass judgment, as she clearly has no idea what she is talking about. It's time to find your self-worth and go nuclear. Do not allow others to sit on their thrones of arrogance only to put you down. You survived through a horrendous experience, and that alone probably makes you tougher than any of these assholes passing judgment. You are not soft and broken. You are resilient and powerful. Let me get this straight. You went through a pregnancy and a NICU baby death due to early birth. Likely due to the stress those brats put you through, and they have the AWDACITY to say you didn't try hard enough? Bite me. That is how I would respond. I am so sorry you went through that, and I want you to understand how strong you are for going through that alone. I am sorry for your loss, and I hope you block that whole group and FORSHAME on your sister. For shame. NTA 100,000% NTA. NTA. You owe them nothing. But there are two things you should do. Sue him. File a lawsuit for your medical expenses, hospital expenses, the funeral expenses, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Enlist the angriest, thickest-skinned person you know to respond to any contact from him, his family, or his friends. Instruct this person to respond with a description of how this sniveling coward ran home to his mommy without a word and actively refused to respond to you for 7 months. Hid from your family when they tried to contact him about the funeral, and waltzed in 3 months after the due date to demand access to the child he had abandoned. Then tell them the next time they contact you they will be slapped with a harassment charge. NTA. Firstly, let me say, I am so very sorry for your loss. Those words are cliché and trite, but they are all I have. Secondly, the sperm donor dropped off the face of the earth because he couldn't deal. And then he has the audacity to say you should have tried harder to reach him? I'm sorry, but you tried, repeatedly, not just to contact him, but also his family. They didn't answer. They weren't there for you during any of this. That was their choice. You tried the hardest you could, whilst going into early labor, having a sick baby in NICU, and eventually his passing plus the funeral. You didn't have the mental bandwidth to keep going. And to me, that's totally acceptable. What's unacceptable is his and his family's decision to be unreachable by blocking you or whatever. Thirdly, please change your locks so that he can't just let himself in and come and go as he pleases. You're going through enough without having to deal with coming home to him sitting on your couch out of the blue. Lastly, your sister needs to grow TF up. What an immature response. She must know you tried. And with all you were dealing with, I don't think you could have tried any harder. She needs to learn some empathy. I wish you the best. Moving forward. First, this is heartbreaking and I'm sorry for your loss. Second, NTA ignores you, lets you go through birth and death alone and then suddenly turns up as if nothing happened. What an awful person. Your sister is an AH. It is not your job to be responsible for him. He knew you were pregnant and chose to disappear. He doesn't get to come back later and tell you that you should have tried harder. He should have tried. Period. After what you went through, nothing you could possibly have done would make me call you an asshole. You've suffered enough for one lifetime. And God knows you tried your best to contact them. And they went out of their way to evade you. Put these awful people out of your mind. NTA. Part of the privilege of parenthood involves being there for your child. Even when it's not convenient or when it's not something you want in that moment. He lost his right to call himself a parent when he wouldn't support you and your son. Through pregnancy, birth, and death, that he and his family flat out ignored you for what sounds like months speaks volumes to his character. NTA. And I'm so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine how hard it is. Excuse me. I would like their contact info so I can scream at them. WTF? You are absolutely 100% NTA. They are all horrible people. Change your locks and block them all. NTA. The audacity from your ex is just appalling. NTA. He talked you into keeping a baby you weren't sure you wanted. Abandoned you halfway through the pregnancy. Ignored your repeated attempts to contact him. And now blames you for not sharing what you tried to share. Your ex and his mom are Oz. As is anyone who defends them or puts any of this on you. I'm so sorry for your loss. Op. Change the locks and report him to the police for trespass. Get a restraining order while you're at it. How dare he? NTA. But Op. This man does not sound stable. He pushed you to carry a pregnancy to term. Abandoned you. Cut off all contact. Then had the audacity to show up after months of silence and let himself into your home. Then he became hostile that you didn't get in touch with him after he cut all contact. He is clearly unbalanced. I know your landlord said you can't change the locks. And you're leaving soon. But please consider some other measures to ensure your safety. While you're home, you can use a portable lock. https amp.cnn.com/cnn/cnn_travel/best portable door lock. To make sure he doesn't enter your home while you're not there. Consider a wireless alarm system like SimpliSafe. It's easy to set up. Installation can be done with a few screws or adhesive. Simple to repair when you leave. And you can take it with you when you move. NTA. They ignored your attempts to contact them. If they hadn't, they would have known. It is their choices that have put them in this situation. Not yours. I am so sorry for your loss. I would block everyone and focus on your own healing. You're too kind. Go nuclear. Message every one of these concerned family members. And say if he wanted to be kept informed he shouldn't have ghosted with no warning. Should have phoned at milestones. Should not have blocked you. And should not have left you to deal with a traumatic birth and death of a child. That they and their family are the worst people you know. That when learning of a mother losing her child, they decide to harass her because her spineless, cowardly, worthless partner wasn't there at all and then just demands stuff when he does decide to re-enter your life. Shame on all of them. You will never forgive any of them. NTA. Your ex completely cut contact with you. Obviously you weren't able to tell him under these conditions. This isn't your fault. He is the one who left his pregnant ex. girlfriend alone while she was pregnant and had to get through the death of her son. He doesn't have the right to expect you to tell him when he doesn't let you contact him. I am so sorry for your loss and this whole situation. You deserve so much better. I agree with the others. I'd suggest to cut contact completely. You don't want people like this in your life. NTA, and what the heck is wrong with your sister? No. This man ghosted you when you were pregnant. His mother ghosted you. You tried to tell them and they didn't respond. There is no you should have tried harder in this situation. You were hurting and grieving and had to bury your baby. He should have tried harder not to be a complete loser jerkface. He just let himself in? No. That's not okay. He's not allowed to be angry at you at all. Not in any way. You tell him and his family to go to hell. Block them. Tell your sister she's a jerk for being unsupportive and trying to put any of this on you. Also, I'm very sorry for what happened with your child.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.